Solar panel.
2 minutes.
I know we did it.
3 years ago. The research is there, and then the price point's too high on these things. Price point's too high on these things. Price point's too high.
What the hell are you doing?
Grab him.
Do you believe in free will, or is everything predestined? The Adjustment Bureau combines elements of romance, science fiction, and philosophical exploration to tell the story of two individuals who defy predestined plans in pursuit of love and personal agency. This is a 2011 American science fiction romantic thriller film starring Matt Damon and Emily Blunt in the lead roles. In 2006, Brooklyn Congressman David Norris is running for the United States Senate. Being young with a charismatic personality, he was the favorite to winning. But after a leaked story came out on the New York Post, it ruined any chances of success. While rehearsing his concession speech in the men's room, he meets Elise, who was in hiding. Immediately, they are captivated by each other.
Well, losing has its advantages.
Like what?
For one thing, as a politician, you're never really alone unless you're asleep or in the bathroom. Usually. And that gets old.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm mostly just looking forward to having some time by myself.
I don't buy it. I think you love it.
Do I know you?
They then share a passionate kiss. David does not get Elise's name before they separated, but inspired by her, he delivers an unusual candid speech that is well received and makes him a favorite for the next Senate election. A month later, Harry Mitchell receives an assignment from Richardson at Madison Square Park, which is near David's home. He is supposed to spill coffee on David's shirt by 7:05 a.m., forcing David to go home to change, but he falls asleep, so David catches his intended bus to his new job and runs into Elise again. They hit it off right away, while Harry chases along behind. But he was too late.
I'm Elise, by the way.
I'll remember that.
That's my number.
Terrific, thank you.
I'll call you. The morning after the election, I woke up thinking about you.
David arrives at work before he was supposed to and finds his co-workers frozen and being examined by unfamiliar men, Richardson among them. He attempts to escape but is incapacitated and taken to a warehouse. David awakens to men from the Adjustment Bureau discussing how to deal with him.
Who the hell are you guys?
We are the people who make sure things happen according to plan. My name's Richardson. You really think I couldn't see that coming?
Richardson explains to David that they are the ones in charge to keep people on plan and tells him he's not supposed to see Elise a second time and shouldn't try to see her again. Then he destroys the card with her phone number on it and releases David, warning him that his memory and personality will be erased if he tells anyone about what he has learned. Despite the warning, David still attempts to remember Elise's phone number. Harry walks into the bar, introduces himself, and tells David to meet him on a boat. Harry reveals some truth and explains what he can to David.
Why are you helping me?
I have my reasons.
And why won't they let me be with Elise?
All I know is the amount of resources they've used, keeping you from her is pretty damn important to them. You're gonna look for her, aren't you? You won't find her. They'll make sure of it. Even if they weren't trying to stop you. There are 9 million people in this city. You'll never find her. Forget about her. Move on with your life.
For 3 years, David took the same bus, hoping to run into Elise again. On one fateful morning, he spots her walking on the street and chases her down. They grab lunch and catch up, but soon David is interrupted by his campaign manager, an adjustment initiated by Richardson, reminding David that he is scheduled to announce his running for another Senate seat. So David promises to meet with Elise after. but Richardson prevents them from reuniting. David doesn't give up and stubbornly persists and outruns Richardson to Elise's rehearsal. Even though members of the Bureau have a way to teleport using ordinary doorways. Later, Richardson learns that David and Elise keep crossing paths because of remnants from earlier versions of the plan, in which they were meant to be together.
It wasn't your fault. They were meant to be together.
What?
Were. In an earlier version of the plan. Actually, a dozen earlier versions. I always wondered how we had such bad luck that she was on that particular bus on that particular day.
How could the plan just change like that?
It's above my pay grade.
David and Elise finally get to spend the day together. Later that night, they go dancing and get to know each other more intimately. Thompson, a senior official in the Bureau, takes over David's case. The next day, after David's interview, he is tricked back into the warehouse, where he meets Thompson and argues he has the right to choose his own path through life. But Thompson says humans only have the appearance of free will, as the Bureau's experiments with withdrawing their influence resulted in the Dark Ages and the horrors of the first half of the 20th century. Thompson tells David that being with Elise will keep him from his fate of becoming president of the United States. But David insists he chooses to be with her, come what may. Thompson allows him to attend Elise's dance show, but reveals another key piece of information.
If you stay with her, it not only kills your dreams, it kills hers.
What?
Elise is about to become one of the most famous dancers in the country, and eventually one of the world's greatest choreographers. If she stays with you, she ends up teaching dance to 6-year-olds.
To prove he is serious, Thompson causes Elise to sprain her ankle. At the hospital, Thompson tells David that he's squandering his opportunities and putting Elise's future at risk. Convinced, David checks up on Elise, hugs her, and walks away, leaving her abandoned at the hospital. 11 months later, Charlie, David's campaign manager and lifelong best friend, alerts David to Elise's imminent wedding. Harry surreptitiously arranges to meet with David. As David's caseworker, Harry feels guilty about all the negative things he has helped to make happen to David in support of the plan. So he teaches David how to use the doors to teleport and hopefully reach Elise before the Bureau can stop him. David manages to use the doorway to teleport and find Elise just before the wedding and tells her about the Bureau.
It says that you love me and that I love you and that we're not supposed to be together because of this book. But I know that I'm supposed to be with you because of the way I feel. I love you. And I don't care what happens. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, even if it's only a little while.
He just revealed us.
Call the intervention team.
David proves what he's saying by teleporting with her. Agents of the Bureau pursue them all over New York City, and eventually, David decides to try to plead his case directly to the chairman, the person in charge. Elise, by faith, chooses to accompany him, and they enter the Bureau's headquarters. Chased to the rooftop and eventually being surrounded, David and Elise declare their love to each other and kiss. When they let go of each other, they are alone.
Did you really think you could reach the chairman and change your fate if you did, or write your own? It doesn't work like that, and I told you why.
I've got a message for you.
Harry shows Thompson an envelope and he walks away. The content of the envelope shows the chairman's newly revised plans for David and Elise, which is blank going forward. Inspired by their love and drawn to one another, they are finally allowed to be together. Harry congratulates them and walks away.
Most people live life on the path we set for them, too afraid to explore any other. But once in a while, people like you come along who knock down all the obstacles we put in your way. People who realize free will is a gift you'll never know how to use until you fight for it. I think that's the chairman's real plan. That maybe one day, we won't write the plan. You will.
The Adjustment Bureau dives into themes of faith, free will, determinism, and the choice we make in life. It explores the tension between external influences and individual agency, highlighting the idea that while circumstances may be manipulated, people can still exert control over their destinies through their choices. 接下来我们来揭晓今天的学习内容。That gets old. This phrase is used to convey the idea that something becomes repetitive, tiresome, or less interesting over time. It suggests that the novelty or excitement of a particular situation, activity, or experience diminishes as it is experienced repeatedly. Like when Dad tells the same joke at the dinner table over and over again, you can say, "That's getting old, Dad. I don't buy it." It's an idiomatic expression used to convey skepticism or disbelief. When someone says, "I don't buy it," they are essentially expressing doubt about the truth, accuracy, or the sincerity of what they have heard or been presented with. For example, if someone presents a seemingly unlikely excuse for being late, another person might respond with, "I don't buy it," indicating they don't believe the excuse provided. It's above my pay grade. Above one's pay grade is a phrase that describes a situation that is outside of one's scope of responsibility, a decision that must be made by people of a higher ranking. Something that is above one's pay grade requires more knowledge than the person has, or more authority than that person can wield. And that's it for this episode of Cinephile. You can find more on the Funday website. Let's make every day a fun day.
Listen, is there a place we could go and talk?
Don't you have to get to work or something?
I just got sick.
I haven't seen you in 3 years. You make me sick. That's not an ideal come on, just so you know. What are you looking for?
No, I just felt like someone was watching us.
Do today learn. Today is Tuesday.
Commercial.
Traveler 是旅行者。
I have to wait for Clay.
So he or she is at the Columbia Towers Hotel gift store. 所以他在这个饭店的礼品店，然后他要买东西。Okay, so let's take this chance and listen to the.
学习让生活充满乐趣。Funday 英语。